And we are finally back. It has been a very long time since our last Joe's No Football episode. I think it was week 15. So it's been about a month. We took a very, very long break. We are right back for the prime NFL action. The NFL playoffs are here. They're starting tomorrow. So we're going to give you a full NFL playoff preview here in this episode. Brian Burke, Saketh Kodori, Jack Kemler, Will Kwiatkowski. I'm Ben Shadrick. And guys, I think we just go right into it. The Saturday slate looks like a pretty solid one. It starts off with a bit of a landslide in some people's opinion, but I know Brian is going to give us his opinions on why his team will not be blown out. So, Brian, why don't you start us off? The Seahawks are 9-8 at the number 2 49ers, who are 13-4. So, Brian, what are the Seahawks' keys to victory?
Yeah, as you pretty much said earlier, that the Seahawks have a really low percent chance of winning this game. But I feel like if Geno Smith, you say 0% chance, I feel like they could beat the 49ers if they keep up with the offense and maintain a good defense. Put Tyreek Woolen on George Kittle, and he'll lock him up. Let's hope so. But that's probably the best key to victory. Get well with the deep ball, Tyler Lockett, and DK Metcalf, and score early. And pretty much, in order to win this game, we got to score most of our drives and no interceptions or turnovers.
So, Brian, I'll just ask you right now: do you need Geno Smith to look like how he looked in the first few weeks of the season? I feel like that's the kind of Geno you need to win this game.
Yeah, well, Timmy Geno, and he needs to cook really good in San Francisco. But so does Kenneth Walker, and he's got to run all over their defense.
And Saketh, you want to give us some reasons why that defense might be stopping Kenneth Walker in this one?
Yeah, first of all, Geno Smith said they wrote him off, but he didn't write back. Well, he better start writing back because it's gonna go all downhill from here. I mean, first of all, quick shout out to Hufanga and Bosa, I believe, who were named first team All-Pro. That defensive line is just gonna absolutely obliterate the Seahawks O-line. A lot of the Seahawks offense is predicated on the fact that deep shots to Tyler Lockett and DK, and I feel like Geno is just not going to have enough time in the pocket for that. And in terms of offense, the 49ers do a good job of controlling like the pace of the football game. Even though Debo's out, Ayuk's been playing better. Kittle's going to get his targets. McCaffrey's going to get those dump offs, and Brock Purdy has been a good game manager. So, yeah, I think the 49ers are just going to be way too in control of how this one turns out.
Will, any thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, now that Burke mentioned it, I really don't see the Seahawks even standing a chance. He said Tariq Woolen's going to cover Kittle. That leaves like 5 other guys that are just going to be wide open. Like, I really don't think Seattle stands a chance. And shout out to Saketh's corny joke about not writing back. Geno Smith, yeah, he just I don't know. He's good. He played amazing this year, but I don't think he's got the playoff magic. The playoff magic and regular season magic are 2 different beasts, and I don't think he has the power to hold both of them. Only one man does, and that's Patty Mahomes.
And guys, another question to throw out there: how do we think Brock Purdy handles his first ever playoff game?
He's going to be amazing. It's the Seahawks. I mean, only thing I really do see happen. Well, first of all, a guy like Tariq Woolen, obviously great player, but I really do feel like Ayuk and Kittle's usage doesn't put him in the greatest situation. I mean, first of all, Ayuk's a slot guy, I believe. He gets those short intermediate routes, and Tariq Woolen really does best on an X receiver, right? And with Kittle, I mean, is Tariq Woolen strong enough to keep up with Kittle? And if you put Tariq Woolen on Kittle, what happens to Ayuk? What happens to the rest of the field? So, like I said, I don't think the Seahawks are going to match up well. But let me just say, when I ranked the Niners in the top 5 earlier in the season, you guys all gave me crap. So shame on you.
Christian McCaffrey wasn't traded to them yet.
Okay.
They had McCaffrey. They still
but
had
Debo got hurt,
and
you're still having the Niners in the top.
And they weren't
5.
even number 1 in the division at the time.
Look, you guys
exactly. So you guys all crapped on me for that, and now you guys have to say sorry.
Okay, sorry, Saketh.
There we go.
Apologies
Yeah.
to chat. There you go.
I'm gonna after this show, I'm gonna pull up the clip of you making fun of me for saying the Jets aren't a playoff team.
That's
I
fair.
didn't-
That's fair too. I mean, we'll
Damn.
get to that later, but
Damn.
yeah, guys, any more thoughts before we pick our winner for this game? Yeah, go ahead. Jack.
Also to quickly add is Kyle Shanahan. I think we can all agree he's one of the best coaches. And
Yeah.
what he's done in playoff games, he's literally gave his running backs like 30 to 35 carries. In the NFC Championship a couple years back, Raheem Mostert got 35 carries, and they won the game by 30. I mean, he might just give Christian McCaffrey the ball the whole time because the Seahawks rush defense is not that great.
And it's gonna work. It's 100% gonna
Yeah,
work.
it's gonna work.
Do we
You
think
have
that
You have
Trent
to be
Williams.
delusional to think the Seahawks have a shot in this. Sorry, Brian.
do we think that Coach Shanahan possibly has more faith in Purdy than he did with Garoppolo in the past years, or is that kind of crazy to say with how young Purdy is and how little he's played?
It's probably crazy.
No,
I don't-
I don't
I
think
don't
It's
know because
crazy.
I feel like Purdy
Not
can make
crazy
a
at
deep
all.
pass and like
I don't know,
make a
like-
somewhat difficult pass.
Yeah,
Unlike
he's
Garoppolo.
he's more gutsy because he's a young guy,
Yeah.
more willing to take some of these shots that.
Yeah, but that's
maybe
what gets you
Garoppolo.
killed. Also, you
And I feel like
make
more
a
of a
bad
team leader.
pass, and then you give the Seahawks momentum. I mean, look, you guys are really giving the Seahawks defense no love. I mean, you guys are saying like how they're going to cover. I mean, I don't know for exactly their middle linebacker. Don't remember his name, but I know he's a very good like player. I know he can cover Ayuk in the slot. Like they're still gonna compete. I obviously think the 49ers are gonna win, but like you guys are just kind of almost saying that Brock Purdy's gonna show up to the field and throw for like 550 yards in this team. They're still a playoff team. Like I don't see the Jets in here. That just saying that. But
What?
like
I mean,
Not
we,
to the Colts either.
How does this even come up? Like,
but I'm just saying, like, look, if the Seahawks won this game, I would be surprised, but it wouldn't be a surprise if the Jets ever made the playoffs. Like, I would be surprised.
okay, what?
yeah, we're getting off track here. So, guys, I think it's time to give our predictions for who's going to win the game. And why don't we have a little fun? Why don't we do the score predictions for the game, just in case someone gets a game spot on? We'll throw it out there on TikTok. Maybe we go viral, maybe we don't. But Brian, I'll start with you. Who do you have winning this game between the Seahawks and Niners?
As a Seahawks fan, I don't even care if we win well, I want them to win this game, but I don't really care if they lose and it's a 2-possession game. I mean, everybody's down on us, and we have like 5% chance of winning this game. So I'd be happy if we kept it to like a 1-2 score lead. So I'm gonna say Seahawks are gonna lose, which this is the first time I'm saying this, but we're gonna lose. I'm gonna say 28 to 17. So,
Oh wow! So not even a one possession game for your Hawks.
No.
Oh, bro, hey, at least brutal honesty, but we love to see it. So,
yeah,
Kat, what do you have in this game?
Yeah, like Brian said, first of all, hats off to the Seahawks. I think it was Skip Bayless who was leading the charge, saying the Seahawks would be 32nd this year in the NFL, and them even making the playoffs was a huge achievement in my
Yeah,
opinion.
it wasn't the most outrageous thing he said.
I feel like they could have.
It definitely wasn't, but score prediction. Niners are going to win. I'm also thinking something similar to Burke here. I'm thinking 27 to 17.
Okay, so Jack, what are you thinking?
Well, I was gonna like just butt in real quick that the Seahawks they have to use their tight ends. It's been working all year, like Noah Fant, and I can't remember the other tight ends, but they use them a lot. Yeah. But my score prediction, I was gonna go 17, but now they're all saying it, so I'll take 38-14.
Oh, well, that is a lot of points for Brock Purdy and the Niners.
Yeah, easily.
All right.
All right,
well,
hear me out. 49ers win 31-16. Pete Carroll tries to get fancy, go for 2 or something like that. 31-16. I'm telling you, Pete Carroll is a bum. I mean, all he's good for is chewing gum. I mean, that guy just sits on he just stands on the sideline and
He
chews.
loses a playoff game to arguably the best team in the NFC. and now he's a bum.
He stands on the sideline and chews gum. Okay. He's gonna try to like be like all fancy, like going, oh, analytics say we should go for 2 on this play. And then they're not gonna convert. 31-16. Thank you.
Well, yeah, 31 to 16 seems like a lot more than 2 points. I don't know about you, Ben. But...
So I mean, I'm a little shocked. Brian and Keth, if you want to talk on this, they have the Niners scoring over 30 points, which I think is a little too far up. But that's just
who's they?
I think that
You
you and Jack have them scoring over 30 points.
okay.
I might push 40. I mean, I don't know.
Man.
I don't know about 40.
I really do think the Niners are going to score early and they're going to control the pace of the game and they're going to stretch out their possessions, rushing so many times. So that's why I kept it low and I said I believe 27-17 or something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I think it's fair. I'm actually going to have the Niners putting up 27, and I'm going to have the Seahawks at 20. So give me San Francisco 27.
I mean, the thing is, the 49ers put up 30 plus in the past. It's 6 of their last 8 games, and then if you want to go back, 7 of their last 9. Like they have put up a serious amount of points this season. They are dominant offense, and they are fully healthy and ready to go. So they're going to put up a lot of points.
That is one thing I want to say is that every playoffs before this, they've been injured. Nick Bosa was injured. Deebo Samuel was injured in playoffs. Like, this is finally them fully healthy.
All right, we'll see what happens. I think it could be
31-16.
Hey, maybe the Niners blow them out as expected. But so those are our picks for the 4:30 game on Saturday. We'll go into the Sunday night game, arguably the best wild card game, or the Saturday night game, arguably the best wild card game of the entire weekend. The number 5 Chargers are 10-7, heading over to Jacksonville. The Jaguars are the 4th seed, who are 9-8. So, Brian, who do you have? Oh, actually, no. Let me throw it to Will. I believe you're talking about the Jaguars here. So, what are some of their keys to victory?
All right, so we're going to start off with the run game. I mean, not on the defensive side, but kind of. But on the offensive side, start off ETN, great running back, one of the best young running backs in the game. And the Chargers have struggled all season long to stop the run. I believe they're in like the bottom 20th of yards per game rushing allowed. They're not strong there. The linebacking core isn't great. The D-line isn't anything really too special. It's injured. So they really have to get the game going on the ground. And also, I mean, through the air, it's going to be important, but it's like the Chargers defense isn't great, but they have to attack on the ground game. Another thing defensively, I think it's fair to say they got to shut down Eckler. I think if you take Eckler out of this game, they easily win this game, especially with Mike Will going down. Keenan Allen's still a great receiver, but I'm fine allowing Keenan Allen to break free for like 80 yards this game and then having Eckler get nothing on the backfield. I would be fine dedicating a corner to Eckler because that's his game, is him working on the backfield is going to kill you. And if they let him work, then it's going to be rough. And then last, just kind of got to let T-Law cook. I mean, we saw it against Dallas. I know Chadwick saw it. I know he definitely saw it, right? You saw it?
Yeah, no, I saw it. Well, thanks.
Were you watching that game?
Yeah, no, I think I was watching it. Yeah,
okay, I was just wondering. It was just, But yeah, like they let him cook, and he cooked. Like that, he's a great quarterback. I mean, let him get out of the pocket, let him run. Let him make these like talented throws. Don't hold him back. I feel like they've let him loose a little bit. They still kept him in a little bit, but the way he's been playing recently has been amazing. So my 3 keys: get the run game going, stop Eckler, and then let T-Law play.
All right, well, Jack, how about the Chargers then?
So yeah, of course, like Will said, Mike Williams is out, so that's a big loss. So I'm gonna point towards DeAndre Carter and Josh Palmer, who have played sneakily good years and use Keenan Allen and Austin Eckler as decoys. I mean, Josh Palmer and DeAndre Carter, young, fast receivers. Maybe try and get them 4 and 5 targets each. That'd be very good. And then also on the offensive side, just protect Herbert. I mean, Rashawn Slater's gone down, but now their O-line is fully healthy except for Rashawn Slater. It's back to fully 100% for this game. So I think if they really protect Herbert, he could, we know what we could do with a football. And then on the defensive side, I look through the Jaguars game logs, and it's whenever Christian Kirk gets hot, whenever he plays good, the Jaguars are winning pretty easily. So just don't let Kirk get hot. That's all you have to do.
Kirk and T-Law are that sneaky Devontae Adams, Aaron Rodgers duo, only for the fact that they kind of work with each other. I mean, you see T-Law like moving the way that Kirk's going. They are a special duo, especially now. Like they're just starting up. Like I can't wait to see them next year, how they're going to work. Another thing I want to point out for the Chargers, no hate, Jack, but they haven't played anybody like any real competition since the Chiefs in Week 11. They played the Cardinals, they won by 1. They played the Raiders, they lost. They played the Dolphins with a somewhat beaten up Tua. So the Dolphins, I'll give them that was a good matchup. And then they played a Titans team that's just devastated. They have nobody on their team. The Colts, the Rams, and the Broncos. They haven't really faced a team that's competitive since Week 11. I don't think they're going to be ready for what the Jaguars have. No one's ready for what the Jaguars have. I bet all of you are going to take the Chargers. Like, oh, Justin Herbert. There's this whole thing going around about how the Chargers are now somehow the underrated dark horse team, and I just don't see it happening. I think the Jaguars are just simply the better team.
All right, well, let's see what we think. So, Brian, who do you have winning this game, and what do you think the score looks like at the end?
Yeah, well, what Will said earlier, I'm going to take the Jaguars on this one. I'm going to take the Jaguars winning in the close game, 24-21.
All right, Kev.
I don't know. Mike Williams out. I'll also go with the Jaguars, but I think this one's gonna be really close. Let's do 35-38 for the Jaguars.
Oh, so a high-scoring matchup in Jacksonville there for Saket. Jack, who do you have win this one?
I'll take a really close game. Chargers edge it out 28-27.
Will?
Yeah, Jack's going to be doing that because he wants to be different. He's going to be taking the Chargers.
I just think the Chargers are going to win.
He just wants to be different. I think this is actually going to be a very low-scoring game. It's going to be a running game. They're really not going to take to the air much, and if they do, it's not going to be like.
Why would they not take it to the air?
Because their run games are significantly carrying their team.
I think Christian Kirk.
I know, but I believe that ETN is going to be the X factor for this game. Right. I'm going to go 24-14. The Jaguars win, and Justin Herbert proves that he's a social media quarterback. He's going to make one nice throw to Keenan Allen. Keenan Allen's going to pull his hamstring celebrating, and then they're just going to lose.
All right, well, I'll go with the crowd here. I'm going to go with the Jaguars winning 31-27, a close one like some of us had. I think it's going to be a bit high score. I'm going to go completely against Will. I think it's a air raid matchup. I think Eckler is heavily involved and ETN are heavily involved, but through the passing game with Herbert and with Lawrence, I think both those quarterbacks have a big breakout game and kind of show that they're here to stay, that they're really franchise guys. But I think Trevor Lawrence just proves that he is who we expected him to be coming out of college, and he's really come into that mold, which I think is so fun for the future of the NFL. We'll get into the Sunday slate, starting off with the 1 o'clock game, arguably the worst game of the weekend. The number 7 Dolphins are at the number 2 seed Bills, who are 13-3 on the year. So, Kath, I'll let you argue for the Bills here first.
I mean, there's nothing even to argue. The Bills are probably the second best team in the NFL behind the Chiefs, right? For being honest, it's going to be absolute domination. Josh Allen's going to have a field day. I mean, I don't even need to say anymore. They're coming back from last week. Obviously a big game for them. So yeah, they're gonna win, and they're gonna eventually have to see the Chiefs, but they're gonna get past this week easily.
Yeah, I mean, I'll try and give some keys for the Dolphins. I think the interior D line is really good for them with Christian Wilkins and Phillips. So and the interior O line of the Bills is not the greatest. So maybe they apply some pressure on Josh Allen. But I mean, Skylar Thompson, you have him at quarterback. He's not going to win you a playoff game. He's also not going to win you a playoff game against one of the Super Bowl favorites. I know you got.
He's not going to win you a preseason game.
Yeah, I think that's that's the type of quarterback. He's a third-string quarterback. They already hurt Tua. They already hurt Teddy. So I mean, if the keys to victory are for the Dolphins are going to be the pressure from the interior D line, and then also Skylar Thompson just creating a miracle and somehow being a top 10 quarterback in the NFL, which will not happen. So, I mean, that's how I argue for the Dolphins, but I think it's pretty clear cut who's going to win this game. So we might as well just get into the picks. So, Brian, who do you have winning this game, and what do you think the score looks like in the end?
Well, obviously the Bills, but I'm going to say it's a blowout, complete blowout. Give me 38-3.
Oh, my gosh. right, I
Yeah,
understand.
it's almost like what happened to the Cowboys.
From who?
The Vikings? Oh, and no, it's the other way around.
okay.
It's the other way around. Whoopsies.
I thought you were making. All right. Yeah, we did do that to the Vikings. Thank you for bringing that up.
Dang it.
So, Kath, who do you have winning this game? And by how?
I got the Bills by 35-17.
All right, Jack.
I'll take the Bills 31-3.
Well,
I just want to point some out here. That is a preseason game. That is a win, and that is quarterbacked by the Skylar Thompson.
here we go.
Just want to call out Jack. Not doing your
The winner.
pregame research. Just want to say.
My bad.
Well, who
That's
do you
on
have
me.
winning?
I didn't look for
All
the
right.
preseason games.
I don't know. This is gonna be a tough one. I like the Dolphins in this one, but I'm gonna go with the Bills. Try to change it up. Bills are gonna win 27-6.
All right, so a little lower scoring than most of us had. I'm gonna go really up there. I got the Bills winning 38-10 at the end of this one. I think they just don't hold back at all on Miami. But yeah, it's a clean sweep for the Bills, which I think we all expected. But hey, Skylar Thompson, preseason MVP for the Dolphins. Maybe he shows up.
He
Maybe
beat Tom
he
Brady and the Bucks.
We'll have to
Actually, beat
watch.
Kyle Trask.
We'll have to watch on 1:00 on Sunday. The next game
Don't watch.
is or should be a lot better than this one. We have the number 6 seed Giants, who are 9-7-1, coming into Minnesota. The Vikings are the number 3 seed at 13-4. So, guys, who wants to talk about the Giants here? Go ahead, Skeff.
I mean, it's the Giants. I mean, what can I say? Daniel Jones emergence. When I said he was a top 15 QB, you guys all crapped on me. You guys all told me that
I still don't think he's top 15.
You're delusional. What do you want me to tell you?
Not. He's not a quarterback.
Okay. First off, let's be honest here. If anyone does not have room to talk about quarterbacks, it is you, Will Kwiatkowski, Mr. Matt Ryan.
Mr. Andy Dalton. I don't want to hear it. Go on about the Giants.
Daniel Jones is a top 15 QB. Give him a receiver next season. He's going to go absolutely off. But, for the Giants to win, I mean, they got that big piece back in the secondary, Xavier McKinney. So now they really need to be able to stop Jettas. They really need to be able to force Kirk Cousins to throw it to guys like everyone else pretty much, Adam Thielen. And even they have to make Hawkinson even work for it. I mean, there's nothing the Giants can do in specific besides playing better on both sides. They really just need to keep the intensity up, and they really need to get those stops early and get momentum going on their side.
All right, so guys, how do the Vikings come away with a victory at home?
I'll take this one over.
Sure.
Since I'm already crapping on the Giants here. They just play football. I don't know, it's the New York Giants. But outside of that, it's clear you got to stop the run. I just want to take a little step back and point out the fact that I really hate living in New Jersey, New York area, because it's these type of times that people actually do think the Giants are going to win a playoff game. And to that I say, you're crazy. Like, I get it, the Vikings overrated, but we still have to sit back and understand that the Giants are not going to win a playoff game. You cannot simply win a playoff game where you have 3 4-string wide receivers playing. That's just how it is. The way they're going to stop them is through the run. Now, Saquon Barkley, they're going to have to slow him down, and I think they could. They have a relatively good, defensive attack on the run. Not great, it's a little bit below average, but their whole defense is below average. For me, what I think the Vikings to do is just run the score up. They have to score, and they have to score fast. The Giants, Saketh didn't say it, so I'm going to steal his throne. The Giants are the worst team in the league in the first quarter, averaging 2.3 points a game. There's a lot of games they have gotten out and not scored. If the Vikings are able to score in their first 2 possessions and watch the Giants waste away, just run the football, this game could be over before it even gets started. So I think the Vikings need to get at it fast and just win the game off the bat. I don't think they have time to run the ball. I think they need to get the ball in Jay Jettis' hands on the first 5 plays and have him in the end zone. I've watched Jay Jettis a little bit. I have him on one of my fantasy teams. keeping track on him, he'll have drives where he basically has 95 yards and touchdown and then won't catch anything for the rest of the game. I think they can use one of those drives right off the bat. I mean, if they get started right away, I don't think the Giants can respond because it's hard to respond. It is very hard to respond with a rushing attack. If you can't pass a ball and move the ball downfield quick, it is very hard to respond.
And guys, there's something else I want to point out. These two teams met in Week 14 or Week 15, I believe, and the Vikings took a 3-point victory at home. But Daniel Jones had over 300 yards. Guys like Isaiah Hodgins, Richie James, and Darius Slayton all combined for over 250 yards. But then they also led up over 100 yards to each Justin Jefferson and TJ Hawkinson. So I guess I'll just throw that out there before we make our picks because, hey, maybe the Giants are able to slow down either Hawkinson or Jefferson and win that game back in Week 14, and maybe that's all they need to do to win this game. We'll have to see. But Brian, I'll throw it to you first. Who do you have winning this game, and by how much in Minnesota?
Before I make my pick, Kev, I have a question for you.
What's up, Brian?
Are you a Giants fan or are you a 49ers fan?
I'm not a 49ers fan.
So, Kev, are you a 49ers fan or are you a Chiefs fan? All right, Jack,
not a 49ers
Jack, next.
It's like, they're going to be top 5 team in the NFL, and they're like, I don't know, second in their division at the time. Like, you're just rooting for them. I don't think that back when you said that they're going to be a top 5 team in the
I'm
NFL,
not even rooting for. I'm rooting for the Giants to win.
Top 5 team in the NFL.
Yeah, I said they were a top 5 team. There was 4 other teams there. Okay, Brian, did you have the Seahawks in your top 5 teams at the time? No. But does that mean any of them are your favorite teams? No.
I would at the time when you said that the 49ers were a top 5 team.
The Seahawks were not in your top 5. It was no one.
I think this is getting out of hand. I don't think the Seahawks are a top 40 team.
We'll have to pull up the clip.
Pull up the receipts. Pull them up.
Oh my God, Sakath.
Brian, who do you have winning this game?
People are saying the Giants are going to win, but I feel like the Vikings could definitely win this game. And the only reason the Giants would win this game is better coaching, but they don't have good wide receivers. Kenny Golladay had his first touchdown. It was a $70 million touchdown right there.
Yes, sir, Jack.
I'm going to say that the Vikings could win this game by I feel like it could be a high-scoring game because the Vikings have a good offense. So I'm going to say maybe 38 to – I'm going to say 30. Vikings win.
Other high-scoring games. So, Kath, what do you think?
Yeah, the Giants are going to win. No questions asked. They're winning. It's going to be close, though. I'm thinking 24-21 Giants win.
All right, Jack?
I've gone back and forth a lot in this game. The Vikings are.
It is closer than you guys like to admit.
I haven't said anything about that. I am in a neutral site on this game, and I actually think the Giants are a good team right now. I think they are a good team, but the Vikings are 8-1 at home, and I can't really deny that. I can't deny that Daniel Jones has never been in a big game. I mean, he went to Duke. He has never been like this type of game, and I just expect Kirk Cousins, who has a bit of experience, and TJ Hawkinson and Justin Jefferson.
Kirk Cousins has a bit of experience fumbling big games. So, what's your point?
But he has experience. Daniel Jones has never seen the stage.
Just because it's a big game doesn't mean it's prime time. Remember, this is a 4:30 game, so not.
Is it the only game on at the time?
And I mean,
it is. It is.
Okay. Hence,
your haircut is terrible.
All right.
I had a point.
Ben Chadwick is right here.
All right. I'll take Vikings 30-24.
All right. Well.
Now. All right. Just want to point out that the Vikings are going to win this game. And Jack's right. I mean, Daniel Jones is a fraud. He's never been in the moment. And actually, now that I think about it, I don't think the Giants have ever been in this moment. Like any single Giant player in this team has ever been in this moment. Yeah. Another question is, Chadwick, you did say maybe they might shut down Hawkinson and Jefferson. I don't need an answer. I just would wonder who on that team would shut them down. Xavier McKinney got He's back, right? That's their safety they just got back. Yeah, he had a horrible game like last week.
Mm-hmm.
He got totally fried. I mean, the Giants, I don't know. But the Vikings are going to win this game. They are going to score quick, and the Giants are going to fall apart per gianting. Give me 31-7.
Oh man, absolutely.
They're gonna. I told you, they are going to score quick, and the Giants going to giant, and they're just going to lose.
I think it is fairly high scoring. I am going to go with Minnesota on this one. I think
Minnesota,
just like in Week 14, I think Justin Jefferson is going to be too much for him, as well as maybe T.J. Hockenson, maybe Dalvin Cook finally has like a really big breakout game. He hasn't really had a massive one this season. But yeah, I have Kirk Cousins winning in prime time. As crazy it might sound, give me Kirk Cousins. I'm going to take the Vikings. We're going to go 28-24. I think it's a very close one in Minnesota, but I got the Vikings taking this one. We'll move on to the Sunday night game. The number 6 seed Ravens at the number 3 seed Bengals in Cincinnati. And Will already not a massive fan. So, guys, I'll talk about the Ravens in this one. If Tyler Huntley plays, I think it's a whole different story for Baltimore. But once again, it's a big if. He is questionable. It's not looking great for Baltimore right now. I think they can keep it one possession. But, man, they are missing some guys. Lamar, obviously. Tyler Huntley, especially if he's out. Michael Pierce on the defensive side has had a great season so far for them. They need to do a lot to stop a very hot Bengals team. The defense has to step up. It cannot play like they just did against the Bengals last week where they let up 27 points. If that happens, you can't rely on your offense to score 30 points. You got to hold the Bengals to, I'm going to say, under 21 points, which it sounds really lofty. But if that happens, then maybe the Ravens take one in Cincinnati. Once again, very unlikely. But some guys I'm looking to step up, Marlon Humphrey can possibly eliminate one of the receivers. I'm looking towards Jamar Chase. Maybe J.K. Dobbins goes for over 100 yards. That could be massive for Baltimore. But once again, it's not looking good for the Ravens. If Tyler Huntley plays, they really do have a actual shot. If not, I think you could just put this game in the book similar to the Dolphins game. But Will, I see your hand raised. What are you thinking?
Now, I just want to go back. I do think that the Baltimore Ravens can change their ways from when they let up 27 points against – how many they let up against the Bengals last week?
27.
Yeah, I think they could probably, do a little bit better. I think the Bengals probably end up scoring like 35, maybe close to 42. This is one of the most pathetic pass defenses I've seen in a while. They have been horrible from day one, and we're all shocked. Like, oh, where's this Ravens secondary? Remember, like early on, and when we started doing this, we were shocked at why the Ravens secondary was so bad. Maybe we thought Kyle Hamilton needed some time. No, they're just bad now. They're just garbage. The Ravens coaching staff is like, I probably could take a head coaching role on that team. They're a sorry team at this point. I don't know how they have 10 wins. I mean, their terribleness points to the fact that the Steelers are somehow 500. That's why they're 10-7, because they're playing horrible teams. The Bengals Joe Burrow is going to pass for 400 yards. I don't know if you have been welcome to playoff Joe Shiesty. Jack's wearing the LSU shirt, so I think he has. He's going to put 300 in his head and say they shut down Jamar Chase. What are they going to do about Higgins and Tyler Boyd? Now
Trenton Irwin.
Say they magically shut down Boyd, Higgins, and Jamar Chase. They still got that dude who's got a lot of hair at tight end, and Joe Mixon. And by the way, may I even say, Michael Pierce is out. Their ability to stop the run this year has been the only reason they are 10-7. Defensively, yes, is the only reason they're 10-7. Without him, they are a lot less of an impressive group in that D line. I'm not saying Mixon's going to tear him apart. He did nothing last week. I do expect at least 20, 30 more yards from him, and I do expect at least 40 points from the Bengals against this sorry team. I think this team right now is more sorry than the Dolphins are on the other side.
And, Will, I agree with you on the run defense part. I think Calais Campbell can do a lot for them today too. Or
Dude's like
on Sunday,
47. I didn't know the guy was still in the league.
He's playing great. I think he's playing great for them.
I think he is. I mean, they clearly have to be great. I think they're top 3 run defense in the league.
They're up there. Yeah.
Yeah, they're definitely up there. I mean, they've been great. And I obviously Michael Pierce isn't Chris Jones on the Chiefs. He's not like going to stop everybody by himself. He's not going to like arm bar tackle a guy from like 10 feet out. So they've got to have other good players. But without him, I think they're just not as good.
And I think it's the pass rush too for Baltimore. I mean, Odafe and Jason Pierre-Paul have been awful this year for them. There's no other way to put it. They've been. Did they expect them to be good? I haven't even heard of the first guy, and Jason Pierre-Paul can't handle fireworks. JPP is extremely old. I mean, Odafe had some hopes coming into the year. He's got a lot of potential, at least I thought, but this year has just been atrocious. I don't think the pass coverage has been horrendous. I think you can still turn to guys like Marcus Peters and Marlon Humphrey to step up for you in certain moments, but yeah, the run defense is going to take a hit. There's no pass rush on Joe Burrow at all, even though this Bengals pass blocking isn't great. I don't think it'll matter because the Ravens pass rush just won't be able to get to him. But Kath, I'll throw it to you to talk about Cincinnati and a little bit on why they might win this game.
Yeah, so I mean, what will they not do? I mean, Cincinnati is just way better than the Ravens in almost everything besides, I'd say, like secondary at this point. I mean, no Lamar, no Tyler Huntley, which that in itself is bad. But yeah, the Bengals just easily one of the most dynamic offenses in the NFL. They're even if they try and shut down Jamar Chase, you still got T. Higgins, you still got, the other 2 receivers, Tyler Boyd and even Mixon. So yeah, I think it's going to be absolute domination for the Bengals, and playoff Burrow is going to come back just like last year.
Well, anything more to add before we move on to the picks for this one?
Yeah, the only time you've seen upset with this type of caliber, is when the team comes out so ready to win that once one thing hits them, they don't know how to react. I don't know if you've ever seen Joe Burrow in the locker room light up a cigar. He is the most just straight up cool, like Joe Cool. He is just him. That's it, dude. He's just nothing will affect him. I mean, this guy has seen 400-pound men running straight at him because they don't have an offensive line. This guy will deal with anything. No adversity is going to throw Joey B off his game. Joe Shiesty, Joe, whatever you want to call it, is going to 400 yards, 405, because that's how much I bench.
And Will, like you were talking about, something big happens to him. Remember against UCF when he got that huge hit, and he was like, and he was
they
couldn't
were taunting him. They were walking over him,
and then threw for
Joe
400
Shiesty.
yards and beat UCF by 15.
He literally reinstated his career after that.
Yeah.
He was like a bench quarterback on Ohio State, and now he's like the greatest quarterback in college football history.
And guys, there's something else. I mean, I think we're forgetting that Joe Burrow, in essentially his first season in the NFL, I know he had technically a few games in his rookie season, but this was really his first season last year. He made the Super Bowl and almost won it. It was a one-possession game in the Super Bowl during his first ever healthy year in the NFL. So, I mean, this is still Joe Burrow. This is still the Bengals. They can still go extremely far. So, with all that being said, Brian, I'll throw it to you first. Who do you have winning, and with what score?
Yeah, this game's going to be like the Bills-Dolphins game. I feel like the Dolphins would be so much different if they had Teddy Bridgewater or Tua here because they had a big collapse. But I'm going to say Bengals dominate this game. I'll say the score would be give me 38 to 7.
Yeah, a lot of high-scoring games so far in the wild card for all of us. Keth, what do you have?
Yeah, I'm with Burke here. Let me say, you know what? Let's do 41-19. There we go.
Jack?
Also, I just want to talk about, even if Tyler Huntley plays, this is the points he's put up this season. 10, 16, 3, 17, 13.
Are these fantasy points?
No. The
team
scored.
Oh, okay.
I also want to add.
I don't
to-
know
on
why.
Tyler Huntley has played so bad this year that he's coaxed all of you guys into thinking that Kenny Pickett is his starter-worthy quarterback. Everybody in the
Wait,
world somehow thinks Kenny Pickett is this next
How are
coming
you?
for the Steelers. I've heard that he's the next Ben Roethlisberger. That is how poor of a quarterback Tyler Huntley is. If Tyler Huntley plays, I maybe would add 3 points to the total of the Ravens.
I'll get to it when I talk, but Jack, what is your prediction then for the game?
I'll mess around and say 37-9 Bengals.
Well,
Yeah, I'm going to mess around a little bit more. We're going to go 40 to... trying to think of an impossible score. 40 to 12. They're just going to kick a bunch of field goals because they got that dude named Justin Tucker.
it's
Actually,
very,
38-12. I don't want to get 40 because that actually might happen.
all right. So
38-12.
very good chance for a scoregami in Will's prediction.
Definitely.
The defense still only let up. I mean, not only, but it is the Bengals. They let up 27 points in their last matchup. I know they lose Michael Pierce. So I'm going to add a few points on. I'm going to have the Bengals winning 34-17 in this one. And like Will said, even if Tyler Huntley plays, I understand he hasn't played great this year. It is better than whatever other option there is for the Ravens. I'll be honest, I don't even know who the third stringer is. But yeah,
Put me on the field.
What'd you say?
Put me on the field.
And it's Anthony Brown. He put up 16 against the Bengals.
Who's Anthony Brown? I feel
That's
like I've
not-
heard of him.
He matched Tyler Huntley's high score.
Hey,
So hey, maybe Huntley being out is better for the Ravens, but nonetheless, yeah, 34-17. I think this is an easy Bengals win. We'll move on to our final game, Monday Night Football. The Cowboys are 12-5, heading over to Raymond James Stadium. The Bucks are 8-9. So Jack, I'll throw it to you first to argue for how the Bucks can win this game.
Well, of course, everybody's gonna say Tom Brady. right?
Oh.
I'm not gonna say that. I'm not gonna say that. Of course, they have Tom Brady, but
Good. I think it's definitely a valid argument.
yeah. But offensive wise, I think they should run the game through the receivers. We saw Mike Evans has gotten hot.
Oh, I
lately.
wonder who throws to the
Oh,
receiver.
wait, he got hot. I wonder why he put up 6 in my fantasy postseason.
All right.
What do you do in the next
keep going,
game?
Jack.
Hey, well, I don't know. I was out because of him.
Mike Evans had a
basic
really good game, so I don't know what Will's talking about. And then, I mean, Chris Godwin, Russell Gage, who's a very underrated receiver. So, honestly, this Cowboys secondary, I don't love at all. So just don't even worry about the run game. Just throw the ball, Brady. And defensively, pressure Dak, like a lot of more blitz. When you get pressure on Dak, he's going to throw about 4 picks because he's thrown the most this season.
Fraud quarterback.
Yeah. I mean, they're all valid arguments. I'm trying to be a very reasonable Cowboy fan here.
I think that
I'm
T.Y. Hilton is going to have a
I'm gonna bring up.
career
I'm gonna
game
bring
in
up
the
some-
playoffs.
Hey, Will, he's on a playoff team right now. I think it's good for him to get out of Indy and go on to a playoff team. I
Who's
think
even
it's-
on
That's
Indy?
true. That's very
Who
true.
I want to bring up something, and we have a bit of a pattern forming. So it might be my prediction for the entire playoffs. We'll see. Week 1, the Cowboys lose, and they win the next
Oh
4
my
games.
gosh.
I know you saw this, and I have to bring it up. Week 1, the Cowboys lose.
I did
They
not
win the
see
next
this.
4 games. Then week 6, the Cowboys lose. They win the next 2. Week 10, the Cowboys lose. Win the next 4. Week 15, the Cowboys lose. Win the next 2. Week 18, they lost to the Commanders. What comes next? I want you to guys. Why don't we raise our hands?
You're not winning a Super Bowl, Benjamin.
A loss.
How
A
many
loss
wins
comes
hear me
next.
out. Wait, hear me out.
A loss
hear
comes
me out.
next.
Hear me out. Dak Prescott is an elite quarterback.
How many
he's
wins
been
come
done his
next?
Career. He's never done anything in his career.
Finish the
He led
pattern.
The Cowboys absolutely nowhere, but he's an elite
Finish the
quarterback.
pattern.
He is going by patterns, guys. That's the best way they're going to win this game.
Yes, sir, Chap.
No.
Travis gonna send it to Syracuse.
But seriously, I think guys like Micah Parsons are going to have a massive impact, especially against this Bucs line that has not looked
Oh,
incredible. Penn State on Penn State, Donovan Smith has been horrendous for the Bucs all season long. You just
Okay.
put Parsons on him, and that's pretty much game over on the defensive side. I think Micah has a massive game, 2 or 3 sacks is what I'm predicting. The corners of the Bucs have actually looked pretty solid, so I think you gotta commit to the run game. I know Levante David has had a great season. The D line has not been incredible, especially the run defense. So maybe you look to Tony Pollard, Zeke. I guess in the red zone, I don't really want to see him at all. But I mean, Tony Pollard, I think, has a big day if you commit to the run game. So I think CD could get a little bit shut down. But yeah, I think the run game and applying pressure to the quarterback on the defensive side through your potential DPOY candidate, Micah Parsons, is the way the Cowboys walk away with a win. Will, I'm not saying he's going to win. I'm just saying
I'm shaking my head because I do recall in Jack's basement watching that Cowboys-Vikings game. Oh, my God, Micah Parsons is DPOY. Because he got like a sack. You were raving about it. You were like doing cartwheels. I think you did a backflip, maybe a gainer. Don't know the difference between them. But I do want to say that Matt Judon has clearly been the better player this year. Underrated. You want to know why? Because he's not in the Cowboys. He has more sacks, more forced fumbles. He's a better player. And I just want the world to understand that Micah Parsons is a fraud.
All right. That was I appreciate the input there, Will.
He's a fraud.
If there's nothing else to add, Brian, who do you have taking away the win and by how much in Raymond James Stadium?
I do think it's going to be a close game. I don't think your pattern is going to work, though. So I'm going to take the Bucs winning this game. And it's going to be really close. So I'm going to say 24-20.
All right, Kev.
I mean, it's gonna be close. The Bucks absolutely demolished them week 1, but that was a different Cowboys team in my opinion. But yeah, the Cowboys are gonna win. Let's say, I think it will be a high scoring game. Let's do 38-32.
All right, Jack.
I hate I'm gonna do this. I hate it. I hate it so much.
Do it. Just because you were forced to say something nice about Tom Brady doesn't mean to pick the team.
Oh no, I'm picking the Cowboys.
Okay, good.
2017.
All right, Will.
Okay, so 2 weeks ago, Jack was in my ear mainly because I was on the phone with him, and he's saying, "No, the Panthers are gonna be the Bucs." Now think about it. Think about it. Can the Cowboys beat the Panthers?
Yep.
Then why aren't the Cowboys winning this? If this is the same thing that happens over at the Jaguars game, you guys are letting the world dictate what you're thinking. Use your own brain and think. The Buccaneers are not a playoff caliber team. Just because they have this 45-year-old who's played football since he was born doesn't mean they're just going to randomly flip the switch. Is Tom Brady going to throw the ball to himself? No, there's not. He's not. Okay, the Cowboys are so much better. I think this game is more of a blowout than the Seahawks 49ers game. The Cowboys are going to beat the Bucs by so much. It's going to be embarrassing. The Bucs should not be in the playoffs. They are such a bad team.
Oh, like the Colts.
Know that they're a bad team. But once they make the playoffs, oh, God, Tom Brady. I don't care. Cowboys are going to win 38-14, and that's it. That's final. Cowboys are going to steamroll Tom Brady, and he stinks, okay? That's it.
Well, I don't know if I was trying to jinx Dallas, but I think it's a very close game. So you really think Dallas blows them out in this one?
Yes, the Bucs are so bad. Why 2 weeks ago, when we're questioning if the Bucs had the ability to beat the Saints and the Panthers, why now that we're in the playoffs, why do we think they're going to beat one of the better teams in football?
I mean, it's like playoff LeBron James versus
God.
LeBron James.
No.
It's a different animal. You said yourself that playoff Joe Burr was different. So why can't playoff Tom Brady be different?
He is.
So what's different about playoff Tom Brady? Okay then.
He doesn't have a surrounding cast around him.
You mean like
Tom Brady is nobody on that team.
Well, like Mike Evans.
Do you really believe the Bucs have the ability to beat the Cowboys?
They have the ability. Do I think they will? No.
All right, let's take a step back. This is week 18 now, okay? Not the playoffs. How bad do the Bucs lose?
Not very badly.
I think they lose. Okay. I don't know what you're thinking. I'm just saying you can't let the media and all these fun facts you see on Instagram.
This isn't politics to talk about the media influencing us.
It is. They are influencing you because
they're not.
I don't know how you think the Bucs have an ability to win this game. They have no such thing as a run game. The run game is abysmal.
You don't
Leonard
think the Cowboys
Fournette-
can beat themselves? They just lost 26-6 to the Washington Commanders while playing the starters the entire game.
I don't care.
I
I
mean,
personally do not care. If you understand me, you understand that I personally do not care. The Bucks are not a good team. How
I
how
agree
do you
with that,
think
but I think the
they are
Cowboys can
bad?
be,
They lost to the Panthers. How?
and the Cowboys lost to the Bucks. Like, I mean, what?
Sam Darnold outplayed Tom Brady. Brock Purdy outplayed Tom Brady. What's his name? Who's the dude in the Cardinals?
Trace McSorley, was he
Trace
playing that game?
McSorley outplayed Tom Brady.
I mean, they didn't win.
Just because it's the wild card game means nothing. Nothing. Tom Brady has never done anything. He's always had a top 10 defense. This year, where's his defense? Where's his defense?
He's never done anything.
No, he's done something. I meant he's never done anything without a top 10 defense. No defense, no Tom Brady. Cowboys by at least 20. I mean, at least 20.
I think it's worth saying we don't know what Cowboy team we're going to get in this game.
It doesn't
I
matter
mean-
what Cowboy team. Put me on the D line instead of Michael Parsons, and I'll sack Tom Brady.
Well,
He had no mobility.
I
You
mean,
get
is this the
pancakes,
same?
and then
Is
you
this
would
the same Cowboy team beating the Vikings by 37, or is this the Cowboy team losing to the Commanders by 18? Like, I don't know which one we're getting.
I didn't watch that Commanders game. I really didn't pay any mind to it because oh no, the Cowboys lost the Commanders. I don't think anybody really cared. I don't really think they prepared for it at all. Like
When the Eagles lost to the Commanders, everyone lost their mind. So I feel like Will has a lot of double standards.
I just said it. It's like the thing is it's the last game of the week. I mean, of the year. It doesn't really matter unless you're really competing for something. I don't think the Cowboys look. People said this. Oh, the Eagles, the Giants could beat the Eagles because they only won by 7. I don't know if I watched the Eagles game. I don't know. I don't remember Jalen Hurts being a pocket passer. Oh, he's not. But he wasn't putting his life on the line to go win a football game. Because want to know why? Because the last week of the season. He doesn't want to get hurt for the playoffs. Okay, so the last week doesn't count. So forget that Commanders game. Forget the Giants game for next week when we say this.
It's never happened.
Yes, never happened. Cowboys are winning this game by 20. Unless Dak Prescott goes out and throws 5 picks. Look, I would take the Cowboys
It's like a
with
5-minute rant.
Cooper Rush over the Bucks.
I don't even think I could vouch for the Cowboys that much. That was
could.
incredible, Will.
I'm not I'm not giving that much love to the Cowboys. I do not think the Bucks are.
Yeah, only about like 6 minutes worth. But yeah.
I think
No,
the Bucks. I think the Bucks are the 3rd worst team in this playoffs.
I'll be
And
honest,
I think I'm not done actually. I decided.
Oh my
that
gosh.
I think the Dolphins with Teddy Bridgewater could beat the Bucks.
that's not crazy
Not crazy.
crazy.
So then why do you think the Cowboys would lose?
because we don't know what Cowboy team we're
Tom
getting.
Brady's like 6-0 against the Cowboys.
Yeah, Tom Brady has never lost to the Cowboys, and I'm vouching on the fact that we'll not get a awful Cowboy team, which we have seen this season. I'm saying we get a average or one of the better Cowboy teams, which is why I think they win. I think the Bucks are a very average team. The Bucks just let up 24 points to the Panthers and 30 points to the Falcons. So I'm expecting a lot from the Cowboys. I'm gonna have the Cowboys dropping. We'll say 38 points, and I got the Bucks putting up 27. So 38-27 is how I have the Cowboys winning this one. So that'll be it for all the wildcard games. Really quickly before we head out of here, we'll give you our Super Bowl predictions just so we can lock them in now, and we can look back at them in a few weeks just to see how we all did. So Brian, why don't you start us off real quick? Who do you have out of the AFC, the NFC, and who wins it all this year?
Much as I hate to say it, but I feel like the 49ers could go to the Super Bowl, and they're my division, but I feel like they can go to the Super Bowl. But I'll also say on the AFC side, I like the Bills Chiefs AFC conference game. I'm gonna say the Bills going it, and I'm gonna say the Bills win their first ever Super Bowl in 2023.
All right, Keth.
Yeah, so no, this is hard. I mean, NFC, I really like the Niners. I like the Cowboys, what they're gonna do in the playoffs. I personally think that the Niners have too many pieces to not make it to the Super Bowl right now. And then on the other side of things, I think the Chiefs are going to get to the Super Bowl. So it's going to be a rematch from
Speech fest.
2019, was it?
Yeah.
I don't remember. Yeah, 2019. Yeah, I think that's going to be a great game. And I think I don't know. You know what?
You think Brock Purdy could walk away with a Lombardi year one?
You know, I think that the
I think
49ers
it's outrageous
team,
if you say that.
I think the 49ers team depends so little on like Brock Purdy that
Oh, that's news. I haven't figured that out.
It's still a quarterback though. That's what
he's a quarterback, but I mean, like the reads he makes are not like impossible reads to make for a first year QB because the offense is that much easier as part of Kyle Shanahan's offense. So, I mean, give me the Niners just because I think they have so many pieces, and you know, it's kind of like a similar situation with the Rams last year, how they had so many pieces. So yeah.
So Brock Purdy brings San Francisco their 6th ring in franchise history. Jack, I'll throw it to you next. Who do you have?
So for the AFC side, I'm just gonna take out the Chiefs. For some reason, I just don't think they're gonna make it. And then it really just comes down to the divisional game that's gonna come next week with the Bengals and the Bills. And I just really like how the Bengals are right now. 6-game winning streak coming into the playoffs, and I'll take them to come out of the AFC.
I like it.
Now for the NFC, I think I'm gonna take Chadwick's pattern, and I'm gonna go with the Niners.
Oh,
easily.
Come on.
I right now I don't really like the Eagles. They haven't been playing well. Okay, it was one game. It was one game.
Jack.
Well, I don't want to hear it from you. I don't want to hear it from you. I don't want to hear it from you. But if the Niners and Eagles verse, I think they'd handle the game. They'd handle the game easily, and the Niners are going to the Super Bowl. You two didn't pick the Niners?
Me?
No, Saketh and Brian. You both didn't pick the
Niners
Niners.
winning it all.
I didn't pick the Niners winning at all, but I picked them going to the Super Bowl.
Saketh, did you pick the Niners?
Yeah, to win it all. Yeah.
I thought I'm winning it all.
Yeah, I'll be agreeing with Saketh. I'll
Wow.
take the Niners. I'll take the Niners.
I don't
the Niners. No, Niners over the Bengals.
It's almost like I said that like week 4.
You did not have him going to the championship, and you did not know Brock Purdy would be starting. So I don't want to hear any of that. Will, what do you have?
You guys are boring. I hope you guys
then pick the Dolphins. Be less boring.
A boring pick is the Eagles pick.
I hope you guys look forward. It's a boring pick, Jack. You think it's a boring pick? No one in the world thinks the Eagles are going to win. Everybody's on your side saying, wow, they almost lost to the Giants. It's going to happen again. Eagles are going to come out of the NFC. The Eagles are actually going to win the Super Bowl this year. I have the Eagles winning in the NFC, maybe just because they are better than the Niners in a lot, in like almost every single position. Maybe not tight end, but wide receiving core is better. Not running back, quarterback's so much better. Offensive line's better. Coaches.
Wait, rewind. Miles Sanders is better than Christian McCaffrey?
I said running back is not better.
You didn't
Christian McCaffrey
is
better.
Talking in the Eagles standpoint. You were talking.
You know what I'm talking about? I'm talking about the Eagles. The Eagles wide receiving core is better. The Eagles O-line is better. The Eagles quarterback is better. The Eagles coach is better. And I'm not going to take Kyle Shanahan. Where? Nick Sirianni is a better coach.
It's debatable. It's fair to. I mean, it is. I would take Shanahan, but
their defense. But Shanahan's got all these other coaches. Their defensive coordinators, one of the best defensive coordinators in the league. I don't want to hear it. Okay, Shanahan just walks around and gets like gifts from everybody. Okay, like I don't know. Nick Sirianni's the better coach. The Eagles' defense is comparable. It's not better. It's nowhere near better, but it's not horrible. The Eagles win. Okay, and then you want to know why? You want to know what? I'm not boring. Okay. Jaguars coming out of the AFC.
Oh, man.
Eagles win. Eagles, Jaguars, Eagles win.
Trevor.
No, hear me out. Hear me out. The Bills beat the Bengals. The Jaguars can beat the Bills. Okay? The Jaguars can beat the Bengals. The Jaguars can beat the Chiefs.
I don't think the Jaguars could beat the Chiefs out of 10 games.
Do we even know if the Jaguars can beat the Chargers?
I think the Jaguars can beat every single team in this bracket.
The Bills, the Bengals.
You're delusional.
You guys haven't realized that
The Bills, the Chiefs, and the Bengals.
Will,
are
you
the
want
two
this?
teams
Will,
that
you
have-
want this on you? You want this
Post
Jaguars
this
pick?
everywhere.
You
Post
want-
this everywhere. Tag my mom, tag my dad. Make sure my grandparents see this. Make sure the whole world sees this. Because I'm telling you, the
No.
Jaguars are not a bad team. They have
No one's saying that. We're just
they
not
have
calling them
played-
Super Bowl.
they have played some of the
attended.
most impressive games this year. They've honestly, with their schedule, have beaten teams, very impressive teams. They could take the Bills down. They can take the Bengals down. They can take the Chiefs down. Easily take the Chargers down. Look, you got they're gonna take the Chiefs coming out of it. Go be boring, Sakath. Go take a team that everybody in the world is taking. If the Jaguars are a good team, if they get hot,
They're
which
not
they
better
get
than the
super
Bills.
hot.
They're not better than the Chiefs. They're not better than the Bengals. I don't know if they're better than the Chargers.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know that this game was depend on who's better. I thought it was who comes out and plays better. And I think the Jaguars come out and play better than the Chargers this week. They come out and play
all
better.
that
than the-
talk for Joe Burrow, and if they meet in the AFC Championship, you're taking Trevor Lawrence?
Man.
No, you're not. You're such a liar.
Yes. Yes. This Jaguars
This
team
is locked in for him.
This Jaguars team is what the whole world thought the Seahawks were going to be in Week 3. They thought they're going to be this
What?
underrated team that goes and wins everything. No,
Everybody thought they were
Okay.
going to be defeated team. They thought they were
no,
gonna be
no.
the
Once they beat the Broncos, like, oh, Geno
If
Smith.
they're a
is the
first round
real
exit,
deal,
we gotta give them
guys.
a punishment or something.
Oh, come on.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
Will,
Well,
what
we
you're
have
trying to
to
get
say-
at here?
Well, you're going bald if you're wrong about this.
What?
I'm not. Dude, if first of all,
If
if
they're
they get to
first
the
round
AFC
exit, will you
Championship-
go bald?
No.
Where's the
No, 'cause-
confidence?
I don't believe like my full if I had put my life on a team making the Super Bowl, I would take the Bengals. But look, my life
What?
isn't surrounded by being good.
Well,
Okay?
you do believe the Bengals are
This
better.
makes no
I think
sense.
I think the Bengals could win. Look, I'm not
What?
boring. Jaguars, Eagles win. I don't know what you're saying. Jaguar, look, yes, the
So
Bengals are the better team. The Bengals are the better team.
So the Jaguars are your
Wait.
Bengals of this year. That's what you're saying?
The Bengals are the better team. The Jaguars will beat them now. It happened
Why not have them win the Super Bowl?
because I think the Eagles are the best team in the league.
So Will, what the Bengals were last year, where they came out of nowhere, that's what you think the Jaguars are this year.
Yeah, why not?
I don't
All
see
right.
a Jamar Chase on their team. I don't see a T. Higgins on their team.
I think Christian Kirk has put up a very, very
I don't see
comparable
a
season
team on
with
their
T.
team
Higgins.
besides the two players.
Christian
on
Kirk's a
offense.
wide receiver 1. You have to compare him to Jamar Chase.
Okay, guys. I just hope you guys remember. Evan Ingram is playing like the best tight end in the league right now.
No, he's
No,
not.
he's not. He had
No, he's
one good game against the
Have you
Jets,
seen his
who
past five
run
games?
soft zones and don't know how to, and the middle linebackers don't know
Have
how
you
to
seen his
cover him.
past 5 games? Evan Ingram has put up like 100 yards, like at least twice in those. He is very hard to cover. As a tight end, what linebacker do the
27
Bengals-
yards against the Titans. That's the last game.
Okay, keep going.
I can't do this that quick.
Fine, we won't do it. But all I'm saying is, I know look. I'm not an idiot. I didn't like. I know the Chiefs,
Are you
Bills,
sure?
and Bengals are a better
Evan
team.
Ingram 13 yards against the Texans.
I know the Chiefs, Bengals, and Bills are a better team. But I think the Jaguars are going to win out of the AFC and are going to lose to the Eagles.
Well, you're mental.
All right.
That much is certain.
Okay. All right,
Well,
Sikev.
Let him keep it. So Jaguars and Eagles in the Super Bowl. I'll cap it
I
off.
hope I. No, you know what? If that is the Super Bowl, you guys all have to go bald. And that's
If they're
fine.
first round exits, will you go bald then?
I'm not going to go bald.
Don't
I'm not
go
gonna get rid
bald.
of this.
No, buzz your hair. Buzz your
I
hair.
have the
Shave the
best-
Get a
eyebrows.
mullet. Get a
I
mullet.
have the best hair on this entire show.
Let
a
us,
mullet.
let us
Get a
buzz your
mullet.
hair. Let us
Get a
buzz your
mullet.
hair if you're wrong.
Shave an eyebrow.
Oh,
Can I like do something that's like not gonna like mess me up?
No.
Get a
No,
mullet.
I don't think you can.
All right. Can we get like what?
If
We'll
the
buzz your hair
Jaguars,
on live.
Get
if
a
the Jaguars
henna.
make
Get
the
a
Super
henna.
Bowl, we will all shave our eyebrows. If they are out against the Chargers, you shave your eyebrows.
Deal.
I'm trying to think of something like more.
No.
better.
He has to get a henna of the Jaguars logo.
Henna
Oh,
washes
L.
off though.
That too.
Yeah, I feel like that's fair. I feel like that's like something embarrassing. I'm not trying to shave my eyebrows. I'm never gonna do that.
Right in the sternum too. Right in the sternum.
You know what? I'm gonna hear me out. All right. if the Jaguars lose, I will make a thirst trap video for the SJ Media TikTok.
What?
Is that
I
a
don't know
deal?
if we want that.
Yeah, I'll pass. Will,
pass.
buzz
All right.
your hair.
I thought this
I
I
was
think I'll
hair.
take the eyebrows.
Okay. What? I'm not taking my eyebrows.
Buzz your hair.
Yeah, just do the
You
buzz.
gotta get a henna right in your sternum.
We'll figure this all out. But
We will
something's
make
happening with the Jaguars.
deal after the show.
Sure. All right. Let me cap this off. Out of the AFC, I think it is the chalk pick for the conference championship game. I think it's the Chiefs and Bills. I think Josh Allen gets his revenge and makes the Super Bowl. And then NFC, the Eagles are just so good with all the talent on their team. But I'm gonna take the pattern. Give me the pattern. Give me the Dallas Cowboys pattern.
That might be worse than the Jaguars.
We just lost. 4 wins are coming up. Dak Prescott is going to go ballistic
This is
in the
on
playoffs.
This is on par with using astrology to predict wins. This has to be a form of divination.
The
Someone tell me.
stars are aligning, and the
Wait.
Cowboys are going to make the Super Bowl. That's what I'm
Are
saying.
you gonna
They
win
beat
I
it?
the
don't think
Eagles-
Miss
You
Matuidi.
gonna win it though?
They beat the Eagles in the conference championship. They beat Brady. They beat whoever. The Vikings. We've already beaten them by 37. Why couldn't we do it again? And they make the Super Bowl. But the Bills get their revenge from the 70s or 80s when we beat them twice in a row. The Bills get their revenge on the Cowboys. I'm with Burke. The Bills get their first ever Super Bowl title. But Dallas makes the Super Bowl. But I still hope Mike McCarthy gets fired. I think that's
How
going
would that
to do
even
it.
happen?
That's what I'm saying.
I don't
It
think that's
won't
ever
happen.
happened in history.
If their wild card exits,
Well,
it
it
could
probably
happen.
has.
No, I'm saying if they make the Super Bowl and get fired.
Oh well, no, that's just my like personal hope.
Oh, okay.
It's not happening, but I mean, it's something to look forward to.
So we got Bills, Niners, Eagles,
Bills.
Bills.
Yep, that'll do it for the Super Bowl predictions and all of our wild card predictions and how each team can come out with a victory. And with that, for Brian Burke, Saketh Kodori, Will Kwiatkowski, and Jack Kemler, I've been Ben Chadwick.